My name is Ted Corrigan, and I am CEO and General Manager at Des Moines Waterworks. As a regional utility serving more than 600,000 customers here in Central Iowa, Think Downstream is more than a tagline for our organization. It encompasses everything we do, from our job treating source water to providing safe, clean drinking water to our customers, to our role as advocates for the protection of the vital natural resources, to our responsibility to educate our customers on the challenges that threaten our waterways. We're proud to partner with the Iowa Environmental Council to present the inaugural Des Moines Waterworks Think Downstream Award to Lee Tesdell, a Polk County landowner who collaborates with his tenant farmer and applies responsible land management practices to actually improve the quality of the water that he sends downstream from his land. As a Des Moines Waterworks customer, Lee's regional system uses Des Moines Waterworks drinking water. Lee understands the importance of thinking downstream. Again, congratulations to Lee Tesdell.
So my name is Lee Tesdell. I live on a Tesdell Century farm in northern Polk County. So I'm in Lincoln Township. The closest town is Alleman, town of about, 363 people or something like that. And my 80-acre farm was part of my great-grandpa's farm. My father's family immigrated from southwestern Norway in 1855. What we're trying to do on my farm is institute a number of conservation practices. For me, the two important concepts to keep in mind are soil health and water quality. And those two concepts go together, of course. You can't have one without the other, really. And so we put into place both in-field practices and edge-of-field practices to work on those two concepts on my farm. I worked with my neighbor, Mike Helen, who's the operator of on the row crop acres on my farm. He was already very interested in reducing tillage or no-till 25 years ago. And so we saw eye to eye on that right away, and I appreciated what he was doing. And so we've been no-till, absolutely no-till for, at least a dozen years. This year will be my 11th year seeding cover crops. So what we're trying to do with the no-till is reduce surface erosion. Same thing with the cover crops. We'd like to have living roots in the soil as much as possible. The edge of field is more my territory because it doesn't really directly affect what Mike is doing as the operator. It's, as the name says, it's outside the field, edge of field. So I've been working with NRCS and other folks to put in saturated buffers. We have a wood chip bioreactor, and we put in 50-foot buffer strips along Alleman Creek, which crosses through my farm. And with those practices, we're trying to reduce surface erosion with the buffer strips, and then we're trying to reduce the nitrate content of the tile water with the wood chip bioreactor and the 3 saturated buffers that I have. Part of it is observational. So, the day after we had that big rain, I walked down to the creek, and I could see the neighbor's soil washed more than mine. That was just an obvious thing to see. Haney Soil Test gives me a soil health calculation every year. Those soil health calculations don't change quickly. You have to keep doing it year after year and watching the numbers. So it's not easy to point to a number and say, oh, look what we're doing after 3 years, we're doing so great. Well, that's not the way soil health doesn't improve that quickly. It's a long-term process. Now, with the water quality, data, we actually have numbers. So with several years of data with the wood chip bioreactor, we were getting 58% denitrification. Now it's important to note that with a bioreactor or with saturated buffers, in heavy flow, some of the water will bypass the wood chip bioreactor or the saturated buffer. So I can't say that 58% was all the tile water, right, that came through the wood chip bioreactor. But of the water that was treated, we took out 58% of the nitrate. And then on the saturated buffer, the first one we put in, with 2 years of data, we were denitrifying at 92%. So that was even more efficient. I feel like I'm just part of a team. That I think that's the way it usually is, right? It takes more than one person to put these conservation practices into place. It is good to see recognition for conservation work on the land in Iowa. I get a little frustrated that we're not moving fast enough. And to be honest, I think that we need to push a lot harder to make our farmland resilient in the face of climate change. You can see that climate, and then of course weather, which is determined by climate, plays a big role, and we have to be ready for all kinds of situations. And if we pay attention to our soil health, and the water quality, I think, will follow, and we will be better stewards of the land.